A friend request popped up. I hit decline immediately. A moment later, someone started pounding on my front door like crazy. I checked the security camera at the door and saw a middle-aged woman, absolutely livid, hammering away at my security door. She was shouting out loud, "Open up! Why didn't you accept my friend request? Hurry up and pay the money. You're the only one left in the whole building who hasn't paid up." We live in a pretty upscale complex here, so maybe others don't care about a bit of cash, but I'm not playing along with her nonsense. I opened the door's intercom and said, totally deadpan, "Is 8,888 too little? How about I give you 8,888 and throw in a car for you too? How's that?" That woman was over the moon when she heard that. "Sure thing. I want that black Mercedes you've been driving lately. That white Volkswagen. I'm not interested in that one." I pulled out my phone and went ahead and added her, then sent the money. "I've sent it over. Make sure you check your account. That's more like it. I'll let you off the hook this time. You little brat, you dare mess with me. You just sent me a sticker. Seriously? Does nobody know that WeChat Pay has a limit of 20,000 at a time? I mean, surely nobody actually went and clicked on that sticker, did they? Get out here right now, since you already gave your word. That 8,888 and the car today, you'd better cough them up for me." Seeing him acting like such a deadbeat, I was so mad I just started laughing. I pulled out my phone and dialed the police without a second thought. He was pounding on the door like he was trying to break it down. He kept yelling at me, demanding I send over that cash gift. I completely ignored the guy throwing a tantrum at my door, and just waited calmly for the police to arrive. The moment that woman saw the police, she acted like she'd found her savior. "Officer, this guy inside owes money and is refusing to pay up." Wait, wasn't it a man who called in the report? I rushed to open the door. I'm the one who called. I told the officers the whole story from start to finish. After hearing it all, both officers just looked speechless. The woman stood there, rubbing her hands together, and declared in a tone full of self-righteousness, "Officer, we're all neighbors here. I just wanted everyone to share in the good fortune. What's wrong with that? What's the problem? Besides, I told him about it beforehand. He's supposed to give me that gift money. He already agreed to it himself. He said he'd send me 8,888, and he was supposed to give me a car, too. What right does he have to back out now?" The officer's mouth twitched in disbelief as he listened. He put on a stern face and said in a serious tone, "It's 11 o'clock at night right now. You're already disturbing the peace. And as for the gift money, you two aren't related at all. He is under absolutely no obligation to give your son a cash gift." After the police finished reprimanding her, the woman turned her gaze back to me. "Sid, if he ever tries to pull something like this again, please call us immediately." I gave a quick nod, letting them know I understood. Before the woman left, she shot me a vicious glare and spat out a threat. "Just you wait and see." Not long after that, just as I was starting to doze off, I heard thumping from the ceiling above. Bang, bang, bang. It was chaotic, along with all sorts of crashing and clattering noises. Turns out, that woman lived right above me. Just then, an arrogant voice message popped up on my WeChat. "Still don't get it? If you don't wise up and hand over that gift money in the car, then don't even think about sleeping a wink at night." I sat bolt upright, grabbed a cardboard box and some soundproofing foam, and wrapped my new mini speaker in layer after layer until it was completely sealed, leaving only a small opening. I propped this contraption I'd just made against the ceiling using a pole. I opened my music app and started blasting heavy metal on loop. Soon enough, the woman sent over a long string of messages on WeChat, a whole 60-second voice note. I silently turned the volume on the speaker up one more notch, then put in my earplugs and completely ignored all her vile insults. Early the next morning, I ran into my neighbor from across the hall at the elevator. He gave me a look of sympathy. "Are you all right? That family upstairs is nothing but trouble." I realized immediately that he was being harassed by them too. I quickly pressed him for more. "Did you guys actually pay the gift money? Their methods are so low down and dirty. Sometimes even calling the police can't do anything about them." He told me his name was Shu Shin, and he'd been living here for a year. "Yesterday when they were pounding on your door, that woman is Chen Wan, and her husband is Li Yingjun. You have no idea how disgusting this family is. Right after they moved in, they threw a housewarming party and demanded 1,888 as a gift. Of course, I refused. As a result, Chen Wan and her family harassed me for an entire week. According to Shu Shin, plenty of neighbors had been forced to pay up because of their various low-life tactics. On the day of their housewarming party, this family actually just set up a table for everyone in the middle of the residential complex's courtyard, served with Wallace fast food. What made it even more infuriating was, they squeezed 14 people at a single table, but only provided enough food for 6. I was absolutely fuming when I heard about it, and I promised him I would definitely get some payback for him. Just then, the elevator doors opened. Shu Xin let out a startled cry and hid behind me. Standing right at the elevator entrance were Chen Wan and a middle-aged man beside her. That must have been her husband, Li Yingjun. You spineless coward, going back on your word. Finally caught you. You're not going anywhere until you hand over the money and the car. Chen Wan shrieked loudly. Li Yingjun stood to the side with his hands on his hips, glaring at me with pure malice. I already told you, my son is getting married next week. How dare you refuse to pay up? Don't you know anything about common courtesy? What a waste of a good-looking face. To be living in a place like this at such a young age, God knows how many women you've slept with behind everyone's backs to get it. I acted unimpressed and waved my hand in front of my nose. Oh, I was wondering why the septic tank was running dry, so that's where it all went right into your mouth. No wonder your breath stinks so bad. Li Yingjun was absolutely livid. You dare insult my wife? Not just her. I'm insulting you too. Who the hell do you think you are? Just because you asked. I have to give it to you? If you're mentally ill, go see a doctor and quit bothering me. I let it all out in one breath and felt incredibly satisfied. Li Yingjun pointed his finger at me, so furious he couldn't even get a sentence out. I was so furious I couldn't even get my words out straight. He flew into a rage, completely embarrassed. He reached out, trying to grab me by the hair. I ducked down immediately to dodge him. Then, I lifted my foot and stomped hard right onto Li Yingjun's foot. A blood-curdling scream erupted from Li Yingjun, echoing through the elevator. Chen Huan was terrified. She scrambled to pull out her phone to call the police. After the police arrived, they pulled up the security footage from inside the elevator. It clearly showed Li Yingjun cornering me in the elevator and throwing the first punch to attack me. In the end, the couple got fined 500 yuan instead, and they were ordered to apologize to me. Li Yingjun said through gritted teeth, I'm sorry. I didn't even acknowledge him. I just held my head high, grabbed Zhu Xin, and walked right between them with my back straight. Looking at the bitter glares in their eyes, I knew this wasn't over yet. Sure enough, my hunch was proven right very soon. After dinner, Li Yingjun and his wife showed up at my door again. Li Yingjun put on a fake, generous act and said, Look, kid, we're not asking for your wedding gift money or the car anymore. Think of how much money that saves you. Chen Huan chimed in from the side. So, you need to come be the best man at our wedding. Plus, we have relatives visiting next week. Your place is so big, it's a waste for you to live here all by yourself. Why don't you clear it out for a few days so our relatives can stay? They aren't used to staying with strangers. You can just go find a hotel and make do for a while? Why on earth would I be your best man? And why should my home be given up for your relatives? We're neighbors, can't you just help out? What's the big deal? Besides, hotels are so expensive. I was so angry that I just laughed out loud. Where do you get this much confidence from? Are you delusional? How can you be like this? We've already made so many concessions. Asking you to be the best man is a compliment to you. Most people wouldn't even get the chance. Forget it. We'll take another hit. We'll give you a red envelope with $6.60, just for a bit of good luck. I was honestly speechless. Lin Jun was even putting on an act of being deeply pained. You young people, seriously. Stop obsessing over money all the time. Getting married is about celebrating. It's not about trying to make a profit. Get out. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police. Li Yingjun was taken aback by what I said. He left me with a nasty threat. You're always threatening to call the cops over everything. I don't care. My relatives are arriving in a couple of days anyway. You have to move out and let them stay here. Otherwise, you'll be sorry. With that, he grabbed Chen Huan and scurried away. I pulled out my phone and gave my aunt a call. You want to threaten me? You want to try and take my house? Then don't blame me for bringing out my secret weapon. Hey, auntie, it's me. Isn't Guzi on summer break? Let him come stay with me for a few days. Guzi is my cousin. He just turned 18 this year. He's not like other boys his age. He's been diagnosed with manic disorder. You know, what people usually call being mentally ill. I really want to see what kind of tricks Li Yingjun's family can pull now, but as it turned out, trouble started the very day I picked up Guzi. When we got back from the high-speed rail station, I couldn't get the smart lock on my door to open at all. The screen just said fingerprint verification failed. Please try again in 24 hours. I pulled up the security footage and saw it. A sneaky-looking guy, wearing a face mask. He kept punching in the wrong password at my door over and over again. By the looks of that silhouette, it's definitely Li Yingjun. No doubt about it. I grabbed Guzi and we bolted up to the 8th floor. Apartment 801. You're the one messing with my door lock, aren't you? Don't you dare go around pointing fingers without proof. Why can't I get into my own place? If you ask me, you should just go ahead and get a hotel room. Who knows? Maybe you won't be able to get in ever again. Watching him act like he's got nothing to do with it, I fought hard to keep my cool. I'll let it slide this one time, but don't you ever think there will be a next time? Lee Yingjun thought I was backing down. He smirked and said with a hidden jab, "Hey, my wedding is still missing a best man. Oh, and one more thing. My relatives are coming into town in a couple of days. Why don't you let them stay at your place for a while? You two can give up on that idea right now. I'm not being your best man, and I'm definitely not lending you my place. Not in a million years." Lee Yingjun's expression darkened. "So, there's no room for discussion then? Don't come crying to me when you regret this. And hey, if you're gonna stay in a hotel, you'd better book it for the whole month." He turned around and tried to slam the door shut, but Guzi slammed his hand against the door, holding it wide open. Seeing he couldn't close the door, Lee Yingjun roared, "Get lost! Where the hell did this brat come from?" Guzi slammed into Lee Yingjun, sending him flying. He pinned him to the ground with one hand. "Listen here, you piece of trash. Who the hell do you think you're telling to get lost? You, let go of me right now. I'm calling the cops." Chen Wan and her son heard the commotion and came charging out of the bedroom. They grabbed whatever they could reach and lunged at Guzi, ready to fight. With a loud, chaotic clatter, Lee Yingjun and his family of 3 were all laid out flat on the ground. Guzi stood there, broom in hand, looking absolutely formidable. Looking at the scene, I know it wasn't exactly ethical, but man, it felt so satisfying. Lee Yingjun threatened us, his voice weak and shaky. You just wait. I'm calling the police right now. I'll make sure you rot in jail." I pulled out my get out of jail free card that I kept on me. "Ha ha ha, take a good look at what this is. See it clearly? The guy who just beat you up, he's mentally ill. Technically speaking, forget about getting beaten up, even if he actually did something worse to you. He wouldn't even have to go to prison." Guzi took the cue from me and shot them a truly vicious look. "Go ahead, call the cops today if you want. At most, they'll hold him for a night and then they'll have to let him go. As for what happens after that, well, I'd say you better start praying for yourselves." Once Lee Yingjun heard that, he immediately dropped the idea of calling the police. Fine. My bad, I guess I'm just unlucky. Just get out of here now." Guzi furrowed his brows. Lee Yingjun sensed something was wrong, and his tone turned polite instantly. "Please, go. I'm begging you. Just leave my house right now." Guzi suddenly spoke up, and even I was caught off guard. "Wait a second, they need to pay for our hotel stay." Fine. Just go. I'll pay you tomorrow." Since someone was willing to play the sucker, I figured I wouldn't be polite about it. I took Guzi and checked straight into the most expensive hotel in town. The next day, I tossed the bill right at Lee Yingjun. "What the hell? What kind of hotel did you stay at that cost this much? This is just ridiculous. I'm not playing the fool and paying for this. And we're just getting started. When you demanded that sky-high bride price from me back then, why didn't you think it was too much? If you're not happy about paying, that's fine too. But then I'll just have to bring Guzi over for another visit tonight." The moment he heard Guzi might be coming back, Lee Yingjun finally transferred the money to me. As soon as the money hit my account, I immediately sent out a bunch of huge red envelopes in the neighborhood group chat. I gave every single cent of that money away. Once I explained where the money came from, the whole chat was flooded with thumbs-up emojis. Meanwhile, Lee Yingjun's family went completely silent in the group. They didn't even dare to claim any of the red envelopes. That's definitely not like them. They usually love taking advantage of any situation. I couldn't help but wonder, are they cooking up some kind of nasty scheme behind my back? Sure enough, just 2 days later, their retaliation came. I just didn't expect them to be this ruthless. The moment I arrived at school, I was called into the office for a talk with the boss. They handed me an anonymous complaint letter. It claimed that I had a scandalous personal life. Seeing all that, I was absolutely livid. Just as I was about to defend myself, the boss waved a hand to stop me. "Ran," they said, "personally, I believe in your character, but these accusations are so detailed and convincing. How about this? You go home and take some time off for now. Let things blow over." Just like that, I was sidelined. Talk about bad luck coming in waves. When I got back to the apartment complex, the second I stepped out of the car, a sharp, piercing pain shot through my foot. I looked down and saw I'd stepped right onto a few thumbtacks. The sharp tips were already buried deep in my skin. I leaned against the car, gasping for air. That's when I noticed my parking spot was covered in thumbtacks. All 4 of my tires had been punctured and were completely flat. Lee Yingjun popped up out of nowhere. He said with a mocking, sarcastic smirk, "What's wrong, Teacher Ran? Not feeling well? Do you want me to call that little maniac of yours for you?" I couldn't be bothered to fake being civil with him. I just told him to get lost. Lee Yingjun shouted out to the crowd gathering around, "Everyone, come take a look." Young people these days have absolutely no manners. I was just trying to be a good neighbor and help out, and I get cursed at for it. Hearing the people around me pointing and whispering, Lee Yingjun looked even more smug. I ignored Lee Yingjun, leaving that mutt to yap away while I limped off the scene. The moment I stepped out of the elevator, I saw a puddle of some mystery liquid and a pile of mess right in front of my door. From experience, I knew for a fact it was dog urine and feces. I haven't lived here long, and I haven't really gotten to know any of the neighbors. The only people I've had a run-in with are Lee Yingjun's family in Unit 801. At that moment, my heart felt strangely calm. If they want to play dirty, then I'm more than happy to play along until the very end. I took photos to document the evidence at my doorway and in the parking spot. Then, I went inside and bandaged myself up a bit. As soon as Guze saw the injury on my foot, he couldn't sit still for a second. It took a lot of convincing on my part, but Guze finally put down that kitchen knife he was holding. I mean, he's my own brother. I couldn't actually let him go out and do something like slash someone. Once my wound was bandaged, I had Guze help me check the security footage from the hallway. The video showed a large black dog relieving itself right at my doorstep. No one else appeared in the frame, but in the background of the audio, I could faintly hear a voice. It was a voice I didn't recognize. It didn't sound like Lee Yingjun or Chen Wan. I saved the clip to my phone. Then I had Guze help me over to the property office to check the garage surveillance footage. The garage footage showed a short, chubby guy with a bit of a bald spot lurking around my parking space several times. We zoomed in on the footage, and looking closely, you could see him shaking a handful of thumbtacks out of his pocket every time he walked by. Neither of the video clips showed Lee Yingjun or his family anywhere. Had I guessed wrong? Suddenly, it hit me. Lee Yingjun had mentioned earlier that in a couple of days, some relatives of his were coming to stay. Sure enough, I got my answer as soon as I asked the property office. Yesterday, Lee Yingjun had registered 8 temporary guests for a short-term stay, and among them, someone was walking a big black dog. I put the issue to the property manager. The surveillance footage proves it was his relative who did this. How are we going to resolve this? We will contact the other party to negotiate on your behalf as soon as possible, the manager promised. The call was answered quickly. Don't you go spouting nonsense. My cousin was just passing by. As for how those thumbtacks got there, he has no idea himself. Plus, my family doesn't even own a dog, and none of my relatives do either. Maybe it was just some stray dog. It probably just didn't like the look of your car. Stop trying to pin your dirty laundry on us. Lee Yingjun snapped back, leaving the manager speechless. The manager looked at me, timid and apologetic. I just waved my hand dismissively. Lee Yingjun's stubborn denial played right into my hands, because I was planning to use their own tactics to strike back anyway. I told Guzi to go back to the garage and pick up every single one of those thumbtacks, one by one, and keep them safe. They'd come in handy later. As for me, I waited at home. It wasn't long before I heard that familiar sound again. Go get him, Wang Chai. As expected, the dog owner didn't dare show their face on the security camera. Only that big black dog came trotting over, all happy and excited, and decided to do its business right at my front door. But just then, the police I'd called in advance showed up like they were sent from heaven. In just a few dozen seconds, that big black dog was already in custody. The owner started panicking. They rushed straight to my door, shouting and making a scene. Who do you guys think you are? What right do you have to take my dog? The officer's gaze turned sharp as a blade, staring right at him. So you're the one who ordered the dog to make a mess at someone else's doorstep, right? It's you, isn't it? In that case, you'll be going with your dog. He still tried to deny it. No, that's not my dog. I jumped in at the perfect moment and asked, Officer, for an unclaimed stray dog like this, once you catch it, how do you usually handle it? Well, if it's a stray and it bites someone, then it has to be put down immediately. But if it hasn't hurt anyone, we usually send it to an animal shelter. I actually have a friend who is a huge dog lover. Would you let him adopt this dog instead? My question left everyone on the scene completely stunned. The officer thought it over for a moment, then gave a nod, and agreed. So, the dog belongs to my friend now. The owner tried to snatch the big black dog back while screaming up the stairwell. No way! Give Wang Kai back to me. Yingjun, get down here and help me, quick. Suddenly, a rush of hurried footsteps echoed from the stairwell, followed by a series of pained yelps. We rushed to the entrance of the stairwell, only to see Lee Yingjun and his crew, some of them clutching their feet in agony. Some are holding their hands down. Some of them were even clutching their behinds. They had all been poked by thumbtacks in those spots. Now, I've finally paid them back in full. The police checked the surveillance footage soon after. I threw Li Yingjin's own words back at him to shut him up. It made him so mad he was glaring at me. Hey, don't just spout nonsense. My brother was just passing by. I have no idea how those thumbtacks got scattered everywhere. The police gave Gu Zhe a stern talking to. They mostly warned him that as someone with a mental illness, he shouldn't be carrying around so many dangerous items. Gu Zhe nodded in agreement. He looked as obedient as a schoolboy getting scolded. With the police mediating, Li Yingjun and his relatives slunk away in embarrassment. But my payback wasn't over yet. I didn't sleep a wink all night, working specifically on training that dog. Finally, I successfully replaced its original owner in its eyes. Standing at the 8th floor stairwell, I gave the command, "Go get him, Wang Chai." Before long, constant cursing started echoing from the doorway of Unit 801. My phone also pinged with a WeChat message from Chen Huan. "Did you put Wang Kai up to this?" I hit her back with the exact words he used to use on me. "We don't even keep a dog at my place. Wang Kai was sent to a friend's house a while ago. Who knows, it might just be some stray dog that just didn't like the look of your place. Don't you dare try to pin this on me." After hitting send, I felt so much better. I flipped on Do Not Disturb mode and laid down to finally get some sleep.